Dear learners, today we are going to discuss about heart shock, how heart shock actually started, where it is actually started, and when it is started, how it is created. So there are many reasons. Among all those reasons, stress is a major cause of heart shock and leads to heart attack. Due to corona situation, there are many families are still more stressed because of financial, because of social, because of physical, mental, and family member lost. All these reason your heart is facing day-to activities, a very stressful situation. Some of the stress we can manage, some of the stress we can postpone, some of the stress we cannot stabilize. So this unstabilized shock, it leads to a heart attack. Why it is actually started? The heart shock, it will reduce hypovolemic supply to your heart and other major muscle groups. Whenever the muscle is working, we have to supply a proper water, nutrition, blood, and other micro macro nutrient to the working muscle. Then only the muscle will be perfect condition. Otherwise it will get dead. So during this date, your lysosomes and other phagocytes, it will leak its acids, and it will spread with other cells. Other cells also it will dead. So in this is the condition where the heart attack is actually started. When it is not controlled within a shortest period, definitely it leads to life-threatening situation. So, due to hypovolemic supply, there are very low blood supply to your heart. Due to heart shock, it is unable to supply a proper volume of blood to your heart and its chamber. Okay, the second condition is due to heavy shock, the shock is damaged your chambers. There are four chambers left, two atria, two ventricle. These chambers, it will get defeated because of over stress, over cortisol, over secretion of other acidic nature. Okay, then in this condition, it will drop the oxygen supply and water supply and other nutrient supply. So because of this reason, your heart is unable to work properly, unable to eject the blood from your right and left ventricle, so that there will be no pulmonary return oxygenated blood. So it leads a lot of problem. And other condition is due to over stress, your cardiac muscle is getting stiffness. Epicardia, endocardia, and myocardia, all the cardia, it will get stiffness, so that it will not work. And valvomyopathy also it will start. Why? The stiffness of heart chamber, your valve also it will get affected. Because of this reason, definitely the muscle get inflammation. Due to this inflammation, your muscle is not capable of contracting and relaxing the heart muscle. Okay, and another condition is when you get some stress, the people immediately they will go for medication, wrong medication, and or otherwise we can call it as a over medication of a particular problem. In this condition, the medicine may not be regulate properly. So in this condition also it will get defeated. So when you want to supply a proper nutrient and blood and water, we have to combine these two systems. Which what are the system? Cardio respiratory system, I mean heart and lungs has to work together as a partner. So if any one partner is getting defeated because of over stress or shock, definitely there will be a miscommunication between heart and lungs. So again, it leads a lot of problem. And another condition is heart embolism. I mean, I think embolism means it's blocked artery. Okay, so blocked artery in the pulmonary and the cardiovascular, cardiorespiratory, all this area, there are some blood supply, minute capillaries. These capillaries, it will get defeated because of overstress. Overstress, it makes you work harder. So if it is beyond its limit, it definitely the blood vessel get burst. Okay, then another condition is heart tamponade. That means the heart and lungs, it will get filled with fluid. This fluid, it will obstruct the functional ability of local heart and lung muscles. Okay, so because of this reason, suddenly your heart is getting collapsed, or it will reduce its functional habit, or it will reduce its left ventricular pumping ability. So because of this reason, less volume of blood is supplied. So these condition we used to actually it is called a heart shock. Because of overstressed, when people are overstressed, heart shock definitely it will occur the person. Okay, when you are not get it, when you are not very confident about your problem, definitely it is uh, uh, going to give you a big punishment, a life threatening disease. Okay, so let us going to discuss one by one. So, heart shock is nothing but due to some condition, your systemic circulatory process, it will get hypotension. Due to this hypotension, there will be a reduced cardiac output and or a reduced effective circulating blood volume. Either it will reduce cardiac output or uh, optimized blood, it will be very very low. So due to this low, it leads to decreased tissue perfusion and hypoxia. Hypoxia is nothing but when the muscle is working, we have to continuously supply of oxygen, then only the muscle will be normal, otherwise it will get uh, destructed itself because of lysosome and other phagocytes. It will kill the cells. So when you feel overstressed, your heartbeat will be higher. Due to this the higher blood pressure, your cardiac muscle is not cope up with this stress, so it will reduce its functional habit, and the systemic circulation may be very very poor. And so during the circulatory process, the lungs and heart has to combine together and make it as a unique functional unit, or a single functional unit. So the left ventricle, it is ejecting the blood to the body. The body again, it will take the oxygen, it release the carbon dioxide. The ventricle has to receive the blood and again send to the blood to the lungs. The lung has to purify means it include again oxygen, elevate the carbon dioxide. It has to work together continuously. And another area is chambers of heart. It is very simple. There are four chamber. This is right atria, this is left atria, this is right ventricle, this is left ventricle. See, when you comparatively, atria is very smaller chamber, whereas ventricle is bigger chamber, so that it will receive and eject more volume of blood. Whenever you needed additional supply, it will compensate. Okay, so this is normal heart functioning. So whenever you stressed, overstressed, there are four different conditions that is called cardiomyopathy. The first cardiomyopathy is the left ventricle, it will get elongated, or it will relax the broader chamber. Broader chamber cannot be filled. So because of this reason, the ejecting nature will be differ every minute, so that there will be hypovolemic supply of your heart and working muscle. So it leads to heart attack. The second category is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. The left ventricle, it will get more bulging, so that the space of receiving space will be reduced. So reduced left ventricular, it will not eject a proper volume of supply. So it leads to hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and restricted is nothing but the heart muscle may not be working properly. So it will not eject, it will not receive any blood from left and right ventricle. So it is a third category, restrictive cardiomyopathy. Rhythmic cardiomyopathy is nothing but right ventricle, it get affected because of over deposition of fat. So because of this reason also, it will whenever you feel affected, overstressed, these may be affected less than 10%. So let us going to discuss about the different types of shock. The first type is hypovolemic shock. So because of heart muscle weak, it will eject the blood, and receiving the blood is very very poor, or the overstressed, the water may be elevated from your body, either in the vomiting or diarrhea or insufficient of fluid intake, so that the blood and fluid may not be giving proper supply to your heart and uh, other working major muscles. So because of this reason, hypovolemic shock may be possible due to overstress or in over summer situation. The second one is cardiogenic shock. It is related to your heart muscle chambers, walls, all those area. It will defeated because of overstressed. Because of this stressed condition, heart may not be supply that much good volume of volume to your working muscle. And third category is distributive shock. Distributive shock is nothing but the vascularies, capillaries and venules, it will defeated because of some other reason. Okay, then fourth category is obstructive shock. Circulatory process system can be defeated because of the higher shock. When you talk about heart muscle, there will be three coverings of heart walls. That is called epi means outer, endo means innermost layer, and myo means middle layer of the heart. This middle layer only, it will organize the functional unit of heart. That is called contraction, relaxation, and ejecting the blood properly, and regulating the heart with SA node, AV node, and bundle of use Purkinje fiber. All those things because of this myocardial layer only. So even yes, yeah, unknown person, those who are away from science subject also can understand. A heart is just like a gas pump or petrol pumping unit, and there is a pipe that is called vascular, and then the end portion there is a blood volume, and blood volume has to supply to the machine. The here machine means tissue or organ. The working organ, working tissue, working cell has to supply a proper volume of blood, nutrient, oxygen, and very good blood. Okay, so for this there are three things we have to consider. One is pump, another one is vascular, and the third thing is volume of blood and the pumping ability. All those things we are going to discuss in further slides. Okay, the first category is cardiogenic shock. Cardiogenic shock is nothing but reduced cardiac output due to inability of heart to pump adequate blood in the presence of normal blood volume. So working muscle has to supply a proper a very good nutrient. All these things we have to supply immediately. Then only your muscle is in a right condition. Otherwise, it will get defeated because of overstressed or overtraining or over nutrient or anything. If you add over, definitely it is going to affect. So overstressed, it will leads to cardiogenic shock. So how it is defeated or why it is started? Because of acute coronary syndrome. Acute coronary syndrome, it is because of overshock. It will disturb the entire heart chamber walls, and I mean, regulatory process of ASI node, AV node, bundle of is, all those things, it will get reduced because of overshock. And dysrhythmia, SI node, AV node, it will get if it is stressed, means it will work faster or it will work slower. Here it will work very slow. Okay, then valvopathy is nothing but when the chamber is affected, automatically it will affect the valves also. So if the valve is not open and closing, when the refilling and ejecting the blood, definitely there will be a loss of blood. And over drug toxicity, already we have discussed. And the last condition is myocarditis. Myocarditis is nothing but inflammation. When people are overstressed, it will affect myocardial layer, inner myocardial layer. Definitely it will get defeated, and the outer layer also it will defeat. And myocardial layer, if it is defeated, means the electrical impulses may not be passed properly. And contusion is nothing but a Barius muscle. It will disturb again its functional thing. So what are the causes of cardiogenic shock? Myocardial infraction, rupture in the papillary muscle or interventricular septum. Septum also get defeated, excessive blood loss in the chamber, aortic dissection, and mitral valve aortic stenosis, narrow tubes of mitral and aortic valves, and congestive heart failure, severe valvular dysfunction. The valve, there are four valves: bicuspid, tricuspid, atrial valve, and pulmonary valve. These valves will get defeated because of overstress. And there will be a pericardial tamponade. The pericardium filled with fluid. Pericardial layer, it will filled with the acidic nature of some stuff within the chamber, within the myocardial layer. So it will not receive the impulses from neural ending to heart. If the pericardial layer is defeated, definitely there will be a problem. So here the four chamber is indicated. Here two chamber, here two chamber. Here is the pulmonary valve. Here it is tricuspid, bicuspid. These valve also get defeated during overstressed. The valve chamber also get defeated. Either it will fully overlap in the area. So because of this reason, the stress may be defeated. The stress, it will induce the function, induced to negative side of your heart. So what are the symptoms of cardiogenic shock? There are the severe shortness of breath. Breath may not be in a proper condition, and rapid breathing will be there. Irregular breathing will be there. Tachycardia, rapid heartbeat. Heartbeat will be higher. Tuck, tuck, tuck. It will do. And mental alteration. The person getting shock means definitely their mental attitude will be negative. So loss of conscious, because of the negative attitude, the loss of conscious, the memory may be lost. Because of this reason, the person may be very weak or faint, or pulse will be getting very, very low. So next here is hypovolemic shock. Hypovolemic shock is nothing but the heart is okay, vascular is okay, but the level of blood is, the volume of blood will be very, 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 very low. It's all because of overshocked. Because of overshocked, there will be a releasing of excessive sweating, excessive breathing, excessive water loss, either in the form of vomiting, diarrhea, and gastrointestinal bleeding, hemorrhage. Or because of all this reason, hypovolemic shock is it leads to life-threatening death condition. Okay, so because of hypovolemic shock, there are compensated progression: weak lightedness, thirsty nature, pallor or pale color of skin, tachycardia, low rhythmic condition, and overstating, abnormal breathing, and urinary output decreased, peripheral pulses very, very weak. So the third condition, obstructive shock, it is nothing but the heart is okay, vascular is okay, but in between there is a blockage of the blood tubes. So the blood tubes, blood tubes or capillaries. The capillaries which is supply the heart and lungs. So in this area, if it is defeated, means the pneumothorax, I mean lung collapse will be happen. Cardiac temporary, it will the cardiac chamber or walls or the myocardial layer, it will filled with fluid, so that there will be no gas exchange, there will be no gradient pressure will be created, so that again there will be a life threatening problem. So embolism is nothing but a blocked artery. Blocked artery means due to or stressed, it may constrict or it may relax. Both condition it will leads to obstructive shock. And then final condition is distributive shock. Distributive shock is nothing but the volume is good and pump the gas pump is good, heart is good, everything is good, but due to some reason the vascular nature may be disturbed because of sepsis, anaphylaxis, neurogenic toxicology, uh, toxic nature, adrenal crisis. Sepsis is nothing but the immunoglobulin may be very poor to fight against the germs, and anaphylaxis, if any insect or poison is taken either in the form of medication or any other food intake, it will disturb your system. And a neurogenic shock, because of neural trigger, your blood tubes is going to expand more, and it will reduce its pressure nature. And toxicology is nothing but the medicine can be utilized overdosed or improper medicine. So whenever if you feel any kind of stress, we have to adjust our adrenal secretion, so it will protect our life. So neurogenic shock is nothing but a vasodilatory shock. Vasodilatory means it is related to blood supply tubes. The blood volume is same, but the blood tubes get expansion because of any other because of shock. Okay, the fluid stays same, but pipes get too big and pressure drop. Because of this reason, you are unable to supply a good volume to working muscle. So because of this reason, neurogenic shock it will start. And anaphylactic shock is nothing but a bite insect. I mean insect bite and other poisonous thing. When you take, it leads to life threatening problem. Uh, Due to corona, there will be a big shock in this area. So here also it vasodilated shock due to exaggerated immune responses. The immune response is not very poor, means the poison it will kill the major cells, and vessels leaky and vasodilatory process it will start. So anaphylaxis is nothing but when the poison is it will get the radius of the tube, it will get bigger. So it will reduce blood supply to working muscle. Because of this reason, the less volume or pressure will be dropped. Because of this reason also, it leads to anaphylactic shock and life-threatening disease. And last condition is sepsis and septic shock. Sepsis, it is nothing but infection. When your immunoglobulin is not good enough to meet that infection, definitely it leads to heart attack. The septic shock also, the septic shock is nothing but the vasodilation is will be very high. So the instead of hypertension, it will go hypotension. The tension will be very less during physical activity. So what will happen? The heart may not be getting proper supply of nutrition and water and other micro macro nutrient to the working muscle. So your heart is lose its functional condition, so it leads to heart attack. So what is sepsis? Sepsis is nothing but the immune response to severe infection can result damage its own tissue and cause multi-organ failure and death. So the because of the immune response, your immune cells it react against your body, so that the multi system get failure, headache, or paralysis, and stomach upset, or there are many conditions which will leads to death condition. So sepsis, there are different stages. Sepsis, first condition is the temperature will be 100, and the respiratory rhythm is less than 20. Heart rate will be above 90. WBC count and PCO 32 mmHg. This is first condition. There will be no problem. But second condition, two is search and confirm the suspect infection. Infection is already started in dangerous condition. If it is leads to, if it is not cared, again it will go for severe sepsis. Severe sepsis, it will drop the blood pressure less than 90. So it leads to lactate threshold. Because of less pressure, your system is getting struggling to manage the oxygen supply. When oxygen supply is not present, lactate threshold, it will start. So finally it will be called as a septic shock. The pressure will be lesser than 90, and the lactate threshold above 4 mmol, and the organ damage will be started. Because of this reason also, the heart shock may be started. In this condition, the immunoglobulin and your severity of infection may be higher. Because of this reason also, you will get some shock. Because of that shock, if you are not taken care, definitely it will affect your functional unit. So what we'll do, immediately we have to maintain a proper air supply to that person, maintain oxygenated and ventilation, and we have to supply electrolytes, and the control of bleeding where the possible bleeding is already leaked from the tubes, and maintain proper circulation, and adequate heart rate and intravascular volume has to managed. If we do all these things, definitely there will be no problem. And finally, whenever you face any problem, or if, the problem may not be solved, definitely it is biggest task for you, and we cannot sleep, we cannot get proper sleep because of this reason. But think that we have to overcome all those struggle, and uh, see, if you maintain proper exercise and diet, and daily if you strengthen your internal system, definitely you can face even the stresses more dangerous than your capacity. Okay, so in order to avoid all those stress and cardiomyopathy, we have to go for proper training and very good diet prescription for the person. Even the person is elder or younger or adult, we have to maintain a good rhythmic condition of your heart function. Thank you very much.